Watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.
Welcome back to K-Flix Fiction Radio. It's mixtape 2, so I don't want to waste a bunch of time with an intro because we're covering a couple of things today. Isn't that right, Dustin?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 things.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do another one of these mixtapes.
Yeah, the mixtapes are fun. Hopefully you like the mixtapes too, listeners.
We're gonna keep the phone lines closed today. We're gonna rock it right through this one. No diversions from our degenerate friends.
Absolutely not. We're powering straight through.
Yeah.
And I think we should kick it off with Revenge of the Nerds 1 from 1984.
Revenge of the Nerds 1, you say, which implies we will be talking about 2.
Well, yes, they both feature rap songs, so if we're going to talk about one, we might as well do both of them, you know what I'm saying?
It's the World War I thing. It's like they didn't add the 1 until 2 existed.
Well, I guess technically the 1 doesn't exist. I just wanted to separate it from the other ones real quick.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes. So we're talking Revenge of the Nerds, a movie I had not seen in its entirety, at least. I've probably seen it, portions of it in televised form when I was younger.
Oh, like on Comedy Central or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yep, definitely. But not one where I remembered the plot or was intimately familiar with it or anything. So yeah, just watched that one today.
Okay.
And dude, I gotta say, before we talk about the original music, just all the songs on the soundtrack were pretty awesome on this.
Yes, I'm so glad that you said that because I have for so long thought that the soundtrack was underrated and unappreciated. I have it on vinyl, actually.
Of course you do. Of course you do, Shawn.
It's a great 80s soundtrack. I really love it. I'm thrilled that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. I thought it was really good. I could say that about a few of the films today, and each time be surprised that I'm saying it now, going in. We'll get to the other ones later, but like definitely a few of the things we're talking about today, I never thought of as soundtrack movies, and they are.
Now, on the topic of the original songs from this movie that are not the rap song that we're here to talk about, there is one that I would like to play out of the many of them that I love. One Foot in Front of the Other, Are You Ready for the Sex Girls? Even from the second one, the 38 Special song, Back to Paradise, is a fucking banger.
Yeah, what impressed me on the first soundtrack is, I mean, there are some well-known songs in the movie. They are not on the actual pressed soundtrack. Those songs include Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads, Thriller by Michael Jackson, and We Are the Champions by Queen. Those are like the 3 big mainstream pop songs that you hear in this movie. But the soundtrack that they released and all the other music in the movie is all these like way less known new wave acts. Like I tried to do a little research, and for almost all of the bands that have a song on this movie, the Wikipedia starts, such and such was a short-lived new wave act from like 1983 to 1987 or something like that.
Yeah.
They all had a limited shelf life, but I mean, these songs are awesome.
So I would like to play this song by the Rubinos, Revenge of the Nerds.
Ah, the titular track, yes.
Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. We wear horn-rimmed glasses with a heavy-duty lens, button-down shirts and a pocket full of pens. We're straight-A students, teachers' pets. They call us nerds, but with no regrets. So go ahead and put us down. One of these days we'll turn it around. Won't be long, mark my words. Time has come for Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds.
I love it. It's so good.
It's great. It's one of those songs where it almost hits like a Weird Al song at first.
Yeah, totally.
You know, some of his more electronic, I Lost on Jeopardy style.
Yeah, totally. A thing that's interesting about this soundtrack, and this is something that I'll talk about later on as well, the version of the song, the rap song from the movie, is not the song that we get on the soundtrack. They are different songs. I don't know if you picked up on this, Dustin.
Yes, I saw that. The song on the soundtrack is called They're So Incredible.
Yes.
And that is actually a song composed by Ollie E. Brown of the group Ollie and Jerry.
Yeah, he also performed the vocals for the song as well.
He did, yes.
structurally, the song is exactly the same. It's just that the lyrics have been swapped out for the rap song.
Yes. Yeah. This is just like more of a song, and then they use it in the movie how they need to use it with the nerds rapping on stage.
Yeah.
Did you get into any other songs by Ollie and Jerry?
Absolutely, I did.
Oh, okay. You did.
Oh, yeah. So Ollie and Jerry, they had a top 10 hit from the Breakin' soundtrack called Breakin' There's No Stoppin' Us.
Don't you try to lock us out, 'cause we're breaking down the doors, and all we're prepared to find, baby. There's no stopping us, no stopping. No one does it better, no one does it better. There's no stopping us.
What a great song for a movie about breakdancing, because I just want to get a groove on listening to
Yeah,
this.
definitely. Dude, I've never seen Breakin' or Breakin' 2 for that
No
matter.
shit.
Yeah,
They're pretty
no shit.
fun.
It's one of those. It's like, what's the like modern sort of? It's not a remake of Breakin', but it's like the modern that type of movie.
Oh, you mean something like Step Up?
Step Up is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that became like a series for our generation.
There was like a lot of dance type movies from our teens and early 20s, because there was that like Stomp the Yard movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like you could put Drumline in that category as well, probably.
Okay, yeah. Pitch Perfect on the singing side is the same type of movie, I think. I don't know anything about Pitch Perfect, but we've talked about it because we know we're going to likely cover it on the show at some point.
Well, one day you'll certainly know a lot about Pitch Perfect, Dustin.
1, 2, and 3, I believe.
I've seen 1 and 2. I don't think I've seen 3.
Oh wow, you're ahead of me. I mean, what's new? Now, Ollie and Jerry also did, we should note, the song Electric Boogaloo from Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right, yes, of course.
Although they believe they disbanded right after the song came out, so they didn't get to ride much success on it.
Can't always stay together for the kids.
Oh, not so much, baby. Girl, you sparked a brand new star. It feels so right to connect.
It's just kind of a cool R&B song. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we're kind of back in the same world we were exploring with the Goofy movie episode.
totally. It's got a real good groove to it. Now back to the nerds. Let's hear what the rap sounds like.
Yeah.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We lambda, 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 and oh, make a move. And we've come here on stage tonight to do a show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Booger Presley on the mean guitar, and a rap by little old me, Lamar. We got Takashi beating on his gong. The boys and the moves are clapping along. And just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a lambda 4-foot tall. So won't you come on out here on the floor, so we can work our bodies like never before. Break.
Yeah, there we go. That's Lamar as a vocalist right there.
And he went ahead and named everyone else for us.
Right? Yeah.
Like you do in a movie band.
Gotta let the people know who's doing what.
So this song, immediately when I heard it, I thought of another movie that happens to actually be from 1984, the same year as Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
What it made me think of was the end credits of the movie The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. You ever seen this film?
I've seen pieces of it.
I think we may be able to talk about it, at least on a mixtape someday.
Hell yeah.
But it also has this legendary end credits scene set to this song.
Okay.
It's a pretty sweet end credit scene. It's sort of like a assembling of the gang. Like they all walk in from various sides of the screen in this wide shot. If you've seen Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou,
Yeah, uh-huh.
the ending of that movie is like a direct reference to the ending of this movie.
Okay.
Same
Gotcha.
thing where they're all like marching together into a line.
Right.
But this one's just set to like a trippier song that reminded me of the Nerd song.
Sure. I can totally hear it. It matches the vibe for sure.
Okay, cool. So From there, I want to, just because I've been on this like krautrock kick for the last year, I would say, dip into another song. Again, this is a world where like all the material sort of influenced each other, and like it's hard to pick out a single song that's like I can't confidently say like, oh, these composers listened to this song when they were putting it together. But like, I just want to again showcase the general vibe of krautrock influence that there has been in all these different areas of music. So I'm going to play a clip of the song Carousel by this guy Michael Roter. I mean, I think there was more sort of guitar work in general in these krautrock tunes, but like you can definitely hear all the things that led up to basically 80s movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
Like it's all kind of rooted in this early, mid, even late 70s sounds. I mean, it's like electronic stuff was brand new in a way. You know, mass market electronic musical instruments were sort of brand new. The idea that you could just have a synthesizer that wasn't the size of a room or whatever to play with was new in the 70s. And these people were just exploring, and it's great. It's glorious.
It did bring out a lot of cool music.
But we can move on to Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise.
As sequels tend to do, they use something that was successful in the first one, and then they bring it back for the second one.
Yep.
There's another rap song in Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. It's called No on 15, and the music is by J.B. Moore, who, along with Robert Ford, produced the first Curtis Blow album in 1980, which means they produced The Breaks.
And my bell sends you a whopping bill with 18 phone calls to Brazil. And you borrowed money from the mob. And yesterday you lost your job. Well, these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up.
And I thought that was pretty damn cool.
Dude, yeah, Curtis Blow, we're into like seminal hip hop.
Totally.
So, interesting fact here, and I full disclosure, I haven't seen Revenge of the Nerds 2. I only had time to watch the first one for this.
Okay.
Thomas Newman did the score for the first movie, but Mark Mothersbaugh did the score for the second one. Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo fame and of now film scoring fame, primarily with Wes Anderson. So, just to connect it all back, Steve Zissou thing to the Buckaroo Banzai thing to this.
Well, we talked about Mothersbaugh in a previous episode of K-Flix as well.
We did, yeah. Why did we bring him up?
It was for the Martini Ranch stuff from the
right.
Coconut Pete episode.
That's right. He worked with Paxton.
It continues to all tie together.
It's all one big stew.
So the lyrics for No on 15 were written by Larry B. Scott, who plays Lamar in the movie, which leads me to believe that he probably wrote the lyrics for the rap song in the first movie.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I couldn't find any definitive answer on who wrote the rap lyrics for the film.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, maybe.
Also, we have two more writers for No on 15. Barry Sobel, who plays Stuart, the other rapping nerd in the song. But the third one, that was the kicker, Dustin. Ed Solomon. Does that name ring a bell to you? Don't Google it.
Solomon. No, I won't. I won't look it up. No, not off the top of my head.
Ed Solomon wrote Men in Black, No Sudden Move, Now You See Me 1 and 2, and co-wrote with Chris Matheson, Bill and Ted 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea the same person was behind all that stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like usually you're aware of like the big connections, but that one escaped me.
Yeah, dude. I saw that and I was like, holy shit, I had no idea about this. So without further ado, here is No on 15.
Kick it, my name is Lipsy and I got something to say and a couple of myths that I'd like to slay. Well, not really me, like an itty bitty mouse and a kitchen informer came to rock the house. There's only one question that I got for you, and that's who are you? I'm somebody too.
Got the guitar in there this time, and the lyrical stabbing. Like the Beastie Boys came around and it started existing in between these two movies.
This is also really Run DMC-like as well.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Good point. And that's why the Beastie Boys sounded like they do. Innovators in many ways, but yes, Run DMC came first and is the more important act.
You may have money, I'd have set of wheels and a good looking honey.
Well, I ain't got threads or a Mercedes-Benz, but at least I have got some really good friends.
Don't diss us, don't dismiss us, cause one day you might want to kiss us.
Don't reject us, disrespect us. We will not let you neglect us.
You can hear the evolution of hip-hop in between these two songs, because the first one was still, like, early 80s hip-hop was, like, almost a live event-only format. Like, it was weird to record it and release it. Like, that hadn't been figured out yet. It was just, like, a DJ art form. In the meantime, in the intervening years, it became, you know, the mainstream genre that it is. So this sounds a lot more like produced hip-hop, like studio-recorded stuff.
100% agree. Yep.
And, you know, the stakes are a little higher in this one. Last time they were trying to win a talent show.
Right.
This time, they're actually trying to persuade people to vote no on this Proposition 15, which is a proposed bylaw that would make physical fitness, in addition to academics, be part of the requirements for staying in their fraternity. And the nerds obviously are quite against that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to have to do that either. That's ridiculous sounding. Yeah, I'm not on a sporting team, you know?
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, I think we had to do 2 years of PE in high school, and then after that I was out.
Now, to be fair, I did a lot more PE my junior and senior year, specifically senior year, than any other year.
Really? Because you were into it, or because it was a fuck-off class?
Because I didn't want to do anything. It was
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? You want me? Fine, I'll take weightlifting for 2 semesters. I don't give a shit. So I have a fun fact about the Revenge of the Nerds lore and our reality, Dustin.
Oh, what's that?
Lambda 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 at the time of filming, along with Omega Mu's, were a fictional fraternity and sorority, but now they are both
They've become
real
real?
fraternities and sororities. Yes.
Really? Because of this franchise?
Yeah, I have to assume that. Granted, it took so long for it to happen. Lambda 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 was 2006, and the Omega Mu sorority, it's Omega Mu Omega sorority is 2016.
Gotcha. Are these nationwide, or do you know what schools they exist at?
I think the Omega Mu Omega was on the East Coast, like Philadelphia or something like that.
Okay, I just looked up Lambda Lambda Lambda, or Tri-Lambs, as they're known in the film. University of Connecticut.
Okay. They're also in East Coast.
So Philadelphia and Connecticut. Nice. Always cool when something jumps from the film to the real world.
Yeah, I love seeing that stuff. What do you say we move on to track 3, Dustin?
Cool, yeah, let's move on to the next one. I think up next is the Doof Warrior from Mad Max Fury Road, also known, I think correctly known as the Kohne Doof Warrior, is his full title.
Oh, okay. All right.
According to the Mad Max wiki. But yeah, in popular parlance, he's just the Doof Warrior.
Right.
And he's this crazy mutant from the Mad Max world who hangs out on the front of a truck, which is stacked with amplifiers, and he plays sweet double neck guitar that also shoots fire.
Yes.
As they ride into battle.
It should be noted that he is also blind.
Yeah, can't see what's going on. His only purpose in life is to play this guitar. And I guess occasionally may accidentally hit people with the fire, but the fire seems more there for the same reason as the music, and it's just to inspire the other warriors that he rides alongside.
Well, also, and he's got that whole crew of drummers behind him as well.
That's right, yeah. The Doof Wagon carries a full band, in a way.
So the Doof Warrior is played by Shawn, who goes by Iota.
Yes, his stage name. He's an Australian musician. He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he has.
I had no idea. He was nominated for like some awards in '99
Oh, wow. Okay.
for like best new artist kind of stuff.
Wow.
I just saw '99 and I was like, oh wow, okay, this guy's been around a bit.
So according to Shawn, in an interview that he did with Vice, the guitar weighed 132 pounds and the flames were controlled by a whammy bar.
Yeah, that's no joke. Well, I think the flames were supposed to be controlled by the whammy bar. I think in some close-up shots you'll see that it's not actually like connected.
I did read that all of the flames in the film that we see are CG because they weren't reading on camera the way that they wanted it to.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So I would also assume that they made it go off in times where he wasn't triggering the whammy bar as well, just for the sake of having the flames go crazy.
Yeah. This guitar, though, is super cool. Like I said, it's a double neck. It's got a bass neck underneath the guitar neck.
Yes.
So he can play both instruments. And then all of the actual like machine heads that you use to tune the instrument are spark plugs. And I think there's some other car parts involved in this guitar that I'm not smart enough to even identify, but they're there.
Yeah, so I actually have quite a bit of information on this.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the guy that created the Doof Warrior's guitar, his name is Michael Ullman. And he told Guitar.com that the body was made out of a bedpan with tuba valves in the guts, car horns, voltage dials, and a motorcycle kickstand was used as the whammy bar.
Oh, whoa.
And along with the spark plugs, he used Chevy bumperettes to cover up the headstocks.
Oh, wow.
So after Michael designs this guitar, they have to make sure that it works to a certain extent. So another guy by the name of Matt Bogue came in to make it a functioning guitar.
Holy cow. That's so much work spent on a movie prop. You don't get to do that very often. And which is why when this character gets exploded, the guitar comes flying directly at the camera. Which I love that. I love when a decision is made like that in a film just to be like, let's show off what our art department can do.
Well, I also just love how, because I'm sure that it wasn't scripted, all of the little moments of the Doof Warrior. Like, one of my favorite Doof Warrior moments is when he's just sleeping, and then it's like, no, we gotta go back to the Citadel! And then he just wakes up and starts shredding immediately. Is so fucking hilarious to me.
I love that. I noticed that in all of the scenes with him, I love that his only purpose in life seems to be to shred on this guitar. There's later on, Max is on the train attacking him.
Yeah.
And he gets him separated from his guitar for a while. And like, as soon as the Doof Warrior gets back to his guitar, that is his only focus once again. Not like personal preservation, not fighting back, just shredding on this fucking guitar.
Oh, it's so fucking good. And the intro for the Doof Warrior is so fucking badass, where the camera shows the drum line and then it swings around to the front of the car and he's just shredding on the guitar.
Yeah.
So that song is called The Blood Bag, and the score is done by Junkie XL. Aside from the killer guitar just cutting through my body, that drum track is so fucking sick. And Junkie XL told Billboard in an interview that it took him weeks to record just that like army drum sound.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's also the first piece of music that he recorded for the soundtrack.
Wow. Nice. I mean, it's so cool. And that the drums are what like kind of rooted in reality. Like, it's a very real thing in ancient history that there were drum lines that took battalions into warfare because it scares the shit out of your enemy.
Yeah.
Makes you sound that much bigger.
A great tactic, honestly.
Yeah, and you're totally right on that. The guitar tone they settled on, it sucks all the air out of the room. It's so cool. It's definitely, it feels borrowed from like the Limp Bizkit era of how guitars sound, It's like post-apocalyptic nu metal. Yeah. Yeah.
So Dustin, I'm going to go ahead and send you a clip right now. I don't know if you came across this or not, but it is a visual kind of a thing, so I wanted you to see it.
Lay it on me. No. I've never seen this.
So this is Kohne doing a Mad Max Doof Warrior parody, traveling from Los Angeles to Comic-Con in San Diego. Kohne is playing the Doof Warrior. Andy is playing the driver of the truck. and the rest of the band is playing the drum line.
Okay, yeah. So this is back when he had the full band,
Yes.
and they're all on the back of this truck playing the drums.
Yeah, this is back in 2015. And Conan's in like full Doof Warrior outfit, and he's actually hanging from this truck as it's driving down the street. And it does shoot fire.
I mean, they did a pretty good job of rebuilding that guitar.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
I had no idea that existed.
Yeah, pretty great.
There's not a lot of movies where this character would make sense, but it works really well in this one.
Oh, man. Yeah. The entire energy of that character is so captivating. The way that he's just leaning forward, hanging in the air, just shredding on that guitar is so fucking rad and cool.
Now, real quick, just because it surprised me, I wanted to know what Iota sounded like because I was not familiar with his work at all. Did you look into him any?
I didn't.
So I thought, oh, maybe he's like a guitar guy. He's like a shredder. No, not at all. Completely different sound. His ability to do guitar stuff was apparently not a part of the casting. Here is him performing his song Life in 2020. I believe this is in the like semifinals in Australia for deciding which act they send to Eurovision.
Everyone's hands in the air, the birds and the bees and the birds in the trees for life, life, life. You go
I mean, that sounds just like the Doof Warrior to me.
You know, there is some wire work in this video, but it's actually like the horn section behind it. They're all like suspended on wires because it's Eurovision. You got to have crazy production on stage. But yeah, dude's got pipes.
They should have let him sing, too.
Instead of just snarl maniacally. That was cool, too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He reminded me of the monsters from The Descent.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Which are some of the creepiest creatures I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, that movie was really good at making you feel uncomfortable even if you're not claustrophobic.
Yeah, and have nightmares if you'd like to sleep in places that are dark. Yeah. That movie. It'll do it.
Speaking of dark-natured things, how about we move on to the next song in a show all about murders. Only murders in the building, that is.
Yeah, it's not that dark. It's a pretty funny show, actually.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. But it is still about murder, which is
in case
dark
you've
subject.
been in the dark, this is Steve Martin and Martin Short's sort of comeback series. Not that they were ever gone, but like they haven't been this present in people's lives in a while, I would say. This is a series that I have seen the first season of and then a few episodes here and there. I'm not fully caught up, but you brought it up as something we should cover on the show because of the song Angel in Flip Flops,
which is featured in season 2, episode 4, and it is in universe a Charles Hayden Savage song, which is Steve Martin's character on the show.
Yes. But it's released on the album Brazos Sing, so it's even one fictional character deeper than that because it's sort of him as his TV detective character.
But in our reality, the song is written by Steve Martin and Kirker Butler. In the episode, we find out that the song hit 83 on the German charts before the Berlin Wall fell, which stopped the song's upward momentum. And was sampled, quote, by like 50 rap stars, end quote, such as Post Malone, Missy Elliott, and Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
I saw this fact, again, not having seen the episode, and immediately went to look for those samples before realizing that was an in-universe joke, and we don't get to hear those songs.
Yeah, that's sadly just covered in lines of dialogue.
Like, so fast. I was like, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Steve Martin. Just big fan of both.
Right. Yeah. Oh, my God. The mashup of that would be absolutely astounding.
So good. Should we play a little bit of Angel in Flip Flops to give him a taste here?
Now I'm walking in the sand with my girl right next to me. She is the one makes my life complete. Now we're together and we live so happily.
I love to hear the sound coming from her feet. Peanut butter. She's an angel in flip-flops, stopping my teardrops. Peanut butter. Kisses like pop rocks, and loving a man like me. Peanut butter.
Horns!
Got that horn bit. Just for you, Shawn.
It was. He knew we would cover this in a couple of years, and he thought, better put some horns in this for old Shawn.
One thing I like about this song is it's not trying to be funny, I should say. What's funny about it is that it exists.
Yes.
In the universe. That at the height of his popularity as an actor, this is one of the things he got offered. And of course he, took it. Mm-hmm. I do feel like if they're skewering any real life person, did anyone come to mind for you? Big in Germany, pre-Berlin Wall.
Oh, David Hasselhoff.
Played a, beloved character on, it was even a crime show, Knight Rider. He solved crimes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, David Hasselhoff, legendarily popular in Germany, especially at that time. I just wanted to play a clip of his song, Do the Limbo Dance. This one's from a little bit after The Wall. I think it's 91 or 92, but it's got the flavor.
Let's go to Jamaica.
We can limbo on the sand to a steel drum band.
Everybody sing.
Limbo cool, limbo grind. Everybody gets a chance. Come on and move your body down to the limbo dance. Limbo cool, limbo grind. Everybody gets a chance. Clap your hands, it's party time. Do the limbo dance.
Definitely matches the island vibes of Angel and Flip-Flops.
Yeah. I found the most islandy song I could. It's kind of equally completely inoffensive lyrically, which is, I think, something smart that Hasselhoff maybe and no one else was doing, was making the kind of music that would fly under the radar in Soviet era Germany.
Right.
Those lyrics wouldn't get flagged.
Just a couple of other things in universe for Only Murders in the Building. There is a physical copy of the vinyl in the show, and when they play the vinyl, there are two other songs on the side that features Angel and Flip-Flops. Those songs are Paragraph and I-65, Exit 22.
Okay.
And this episode actually opens with Charles Hayden Savage and the kid version of Lucy singing the song.
Loving a man like me, she's a angel in flip-flops.
Pitter-patter,
Angel in flip-flops.
pitter-patter.
Short shorts and tank tops. And loving a man like me, she's a angel in flip-flops.
Pitter-patter,
Stopping my teardrops. Kisses like pop rocks. And loving a man like me.
pitter-patter.
Loving a man like me. Pitter-patter. You still got it.
Which is a super reminiscent of, stuff like Tender Mercies and that scene in Light of Day, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, definitely. Get some of that live on set recording.
Totally.
Just for fun, by the way, Shawn, I looked up where I-65 Exit 22 might be.
Okay.
Given how interstates work, I think it could exist in several states, but the one that came up was in Tennessee, near a town called Cornersville, which I think is near Bowling Green. There's a Subway and a McDonald's and several gas stations to choose from at this exit.
You can get a little bit of grub and fill up your car at the same time. You're good to go. That's a solid exit.
And stay at the Econo Lodge. It's full service. They have it all.
They have lodging. This is a great stop. It deserves its own song.
Yeah, clearly.
Quick fun fact about the song Angel and Flip-Flops before we move on, Dustin. The producer was Paul Schaefer.
I saw that. Yeah, I think Steve Martin and Paul Schaefer kind of go back.
Well, I mean, the SNL days for sure.
Yeah, and dude, Paul Schaefer is, I'm pretty sure he a legendary socialite amongst New York entertainment people. I think back in the day, if you went to a party, Paul Schaefer was there.
What do you say we go back in time for this next song, Dustin?
How far back are you talking, Shawn?
Oh, we're going all the way back to the Stone Age.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family.
That's right, kids. It's the BC 52s.
That's right.
From the Flintstones.
Yes, I love this gag. I love that they got the B-52s for this movie. I love that they got them to change their name in universe because everything in the Flintstones is a pun about rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even the song we're really here to talk about because they didn't do the Flintstones theme in universe. They did a different song.
Right. But this song did hit 33 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it was
right,
a
it did,
legitimate
yeah.
fucking hit.
There's an actual music video for this.
Yeah.
People were super ready for anything Flintstones when did it come out? 94?
94, yeah. It's also crazy how often the melody of the theme song is worked into the score for the film. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, they had, like, sad versions of it and stuff.
Yeah,
I love that this movie exists. It was so much fun to rewatch it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, like, again, sort of end of an era of, like, huge budget. Like, they built Bedrock.
Yes.
Like, the set for this thing was crazy. They have these big animatronic dinosaurs. They have some CG, not a lot. A lot of just, like, animatronics and, like, Muppet technology, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Super fun and hilarious to me that this, Spielberg was involved as a producer on this, and it came out the year after Jurassic Park, and it's just a very different take on dinosaurs and all that.
For sure. I've actually been to the location they used for Bedrock. It's a public park out here called Vasquez Rocks. It's really cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Does it have like those are the big rock formations real?
Yes.
Cool.
Those are real, and they are used in so many things. They're used in Bill and Ted 2. They walk up those rocks and the robots throw Bill and Ted off and kill them off of those rocks.
Wow. Bill and Ted has come up a couple times in this episode already.
Yeah, it's in the background, all kinds of stuff. Blazing Saddles as well.
Okay.
It's where Captain Kirk fought the alien in the original Star Trek series.
Oh, nice. So it's one of those classic short drive from Hollywood kind of locations.
Did you look into the director of this film, Dustin?
A little bit, but what do you got? Lay it on me.
So the director is Brian Levant. And he had a really good run of family movies while we were kids in the 90s. The Flintstones, Problem Child 2, Beethoven, and Jingle All the Way. I just thought it was cool that he was so all over our childhood with these family films.
Yeah, those are a bunch of classics. Are We There Yet as well, which may be a little, past our generation, but
right.
Another big one.
Sorry, I got a little selfish and was just talking about our youth and not the generation after us.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I have seen Are We There Yet, but it's not a movie that I grew up with because I was already, a teenager at that point.
Sure. Fair. Yes. I didn't realize also that he did the second Flintstones movie, Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas, because there are so many other like cast changes and stuff between the first one and the second one. I kind of assumed it would be a different director too, but no, I mean, he saw it through.
Yeah. But back to the Flintstones, the thing we're here to talk about is the Bedrock Twitch, which is performed by the B-52s as the BC-52s in the movie. Now, listener, if you're enjoying this song right now and you think that it sounds a little bit different than the movie version, you'd be 100% right, because the movie version has a lot more energy due to some added lyrics. That twitch. The chanting of twitch adds a lot of like, I don't know what to say other than energy.
Yeah, no, it totally adds energy, and it works because they're in a live setting in the movie, like they're a band on stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. What blew my mind about this song was because it sounds like such a fully B-52s crafted thing. I was kind of flabbergasted when I looked at the credits and it said lyrics by Hanna-Barbera, like the original creators of the show, and then finding out that this song existed in a previous form in the Flintstones cartoon.
Yeah, all the way back to 1962.
Whew, that's like shortly after they started recording things that were broadcast on television.
Twitch, twitch, when you get an itch, then you do the twitch in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch, cause the twitching's fine. Have yourself a time in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch.
Did you notice that this version of the song also appears in the movie?
I didn't. This is Fred Flintstone performing it in the cartoon, and it's more of an Elvis-style performance, I would say. No, I didn't catch it in the movie.
So it's at the very beginning when Fred and Barney are pedaling to work and they're listening to the radio.
There's a town I know where the hipsters go called Bedrock. Twitch, twitch, when you get that itch, then you do the twitch in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch, cause the twitching's
And this is another interesting thing because in the classic version from 1962, they do the twitch twitch, but on the soundtrack version by the B-52s, they left out the twitch twitch interjections. So
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it's for of all the bands, it doesn't seem odd having the B-52s interject something like that.
No.
It seems
Yeah,
like
it's
right on
right
their
on par.
wheelhouse.
Yeah. And just as a quick little fun fact for the original 1962 version, you pointed out that was Fred singing that song. That is true, but the fictional artist that sings the song in universe of the cartoon, that person's name is Rock Roll.
Oh, really? Wow. Creative. Rock roll.
Rock Roll.
One quick thing I wanted to mention about the Flintstones movie before we move on. I was caught off guard by this song in the soundtrack. This is not a performance in the movie. It's just from the soundtrack.
Okay.
But I heard it and I had to bring it up. Big Audio Dynamite's cover of Rock with the Caveman.
Wilma, I'm home.
Old town cave dweller lived in a cave. This is what he did when he wanted to write. Took out a stick and drew it on the wall. Made out of feather, had himself a ball. Rock with a caveman. Roll with
I heard this in the movie. I was like, is that Mick Jones? And then had to go down the rabbit hole of, Big Audio Dynamite did a recording of the song Rock with the Caveman. As far as I can tell, they did it for the movie. I can't find any existence of it on any of their albums, like before this, but it's a cover of a song of the same name by Tommy Steele.
old time cave dweller lived in a cave. This is what he did when he wanted to rave. Took a stick and he drew on the wall. Man out of feather had himself a ball. Rock with a caveman. Roll with the caveman. Shake with the caveman.
And this goes back to like all of our 50s rock and roll stuff when we've talked previously about like novelty records, and like this is almost in that world, like when you would just pick like a wacky subject and sing about it and it would become the song of the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like the way they repurposed it for the soundtrack of this. And this is another one where I just wanted to say, like, the soundtrack is so good. And they had a great pick of songs that just reference the Stone Age and cavemen and dinosaurs. Walk the Dinosaur is featured on this soundtrack, which is an excellent choice. Super fun music selection for this one.
Yeah, it was a good trip down memory lane because I hadn't watched that whole movie in a good long while.
Yeah, I don't think I'd seen it since I was watching it on video as a kid, honestly.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, Shawn, I think that leaves us with one track left on this here mixtape. And it's one that somehow I missed completely, which is wild.
We're talking about Scotty Doesn't Know from the 2004 movie Eurotrip. And the song is by a band called Lustra.
Yeah.
But this song has all kinds of crazy information and fun tidbits. Did you come across anything that you found to be fun for this song, Dustin?
Probably not at the level you did. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say. I'm just blown away that I missed this song somehow in the world. I missed this movie. I remember when this movie came out. It was definitely in that batch of American Pie and teen movie, blah, 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 and all that stuff that was coming out when we were in high school. But I never saw this one. The song reminds me of about a dozen different pop punk acts from those years.
Yeah.
If you want me to get specific, do you want me to get specific? Okay, I'll get specific. It reminds me
Yeah, please.
of a certain type of pop punk band that was a little bit off the beaten path. I'm not talking about Blink-182 here. I'm not talking about Newfound Glory even. This reminds me of the Phoenix TXs of the world.
Shit,
The
yeah.
SR-71s, the homegrowns. It's that particular brand of pop punk with maybe a little bit of Zebrahead in there. And I swear I heard a Zebrahead song on this soundtrack, but I looked at it and there is no Zebrahead song on the soundtrack. So I don't know what the song was that I heard. It's not them. But what do you know about Lustra and Scotty Doesn't Know?
One of the things that I find to be fascinating is that it came out in 2004 along with the film, but it didn't become a huge thing until 2006 when it exploded on MySpace, and then it put it on the Billboard charts. It went to number 75. On the top 100. It hit 59 on the pop 100 and 39 on the US digital songs.
So this was like a viral hit.
And one of the craziest cameos in movie history at the time was Matt Damon playing the lead singer of this band in the film.
Yeah, he was doing artsy stuff. He was doing big budget blockbuster stuff. It's quite surprising to see him in this. He's the biggest name in this movie by really far.
Yeah. On his Reddit Ask Me Anything, he was answering questions about how he got involved with Eurotrip, and he went to Harvard with the 3 writers and directors of this film, Alex Schaefer, Jeff Berg, and Dave Mandel. They were shooting in Prague. Matt Damon was shooting in Prague for the Brothers Grimm, and it was during the height of SARS, so they couldn't get anybody to fly from the States to Prague to do cameos. So they just started reaching out to other people who were shooting in the area.
That's how this went down.
Yeah, so they reached out to their friend Matt, and they said, hey, would you be free to do this? He said yes, so he rolled up, and he shot this incredible cameo in this film.
For the listeners, real quick, in case you don't remember or you weren't around, SARS was like baby COVID.
Yes.
It was like the big outbreak of the early 2000s, but it was nowhere near like what COVID turned into.
Right. And then also, it's all an entangled web because some of the members of Lustra went to college with Matt and Alec and Jeff and Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is just like all the gang did good. Like this is everybody from school doing the thing. That's awesome.
And then in terms of the song coming together, Nick Cloutman of Lustra said that he had the guitar riff just sort of laying around, but in his head, it was much slower paced, like a New Order kind of song.
Oh, interesting.
But the final version is not slower paced at all and sounds like this.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know. Oh, Scotty doesn't know. Oh. So don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
So this song is all about a guy who's been cheated on by his girlfriend Fiona, and he finds out about this at his graduation party when the band plays the song.
Yeah. But and then it becomes like a huge hit in the movie universe because they encounter the song several times later during the Euro trip.
First of which is them singing it on a train.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van on Sundays. Tells him she's... What? You gotta admit, it's a really catchy tune. Tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still she's on her knees.
And Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
And cue Fred Armisen.
Yeah, this is where you get the Fred Armisen cameo, which must have been one of his first, at least as a famous person, because he had barely joined SNL at this point.
That's true, yeah.
I looked it up, and he had just become a full repertory player in the SNL cast that season. So he had been on it 1 or maybe 2 before as a, featured.
Nice.
Oh, and also speaking of our aforementioned bud, David Hasselhoff, he shows up in this one in a nice little cameo.
He does.
With his song Du, which is the German word for you.
We also get a dance club version of Scotty Doesn't Know.
song sounds familiar.
So yeah, international hit, Scotty Doesn't Know.
I like that club version.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So people got a little upset that another song sounds a lot like Scotty Doesn't Know. So just as a refresher, I'm going to play the original version, just a little sample of it, and then we're going to go into what people got upset over.
Okay.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still, she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know.
Okay, so here is Rockstar by Hannah Montana.
Okay. I can hear it.
Sometimes I walk a little faster in the school hallway just to get next to you.
I don't know. You guys be the judge, listeners, but
Yeah,
there's some similarities in there.
I can hear it in the intro for sure. I think it breaks away then eventually. But like, I'm hesitant to like put her in music jail for that because I feel like each of those bands I listed earlier has a song that sounds like that. I feel like Sum 41 have songs that sound like that. It was in the air in a big way.
Sure.
But yeah. Okay, I'd never heard of that controversy though. That's funny.
Dustin, did you come across the version that we heard in the movie was not the only version of the song Scotty Doesn't Know?
No.
Okay, so there was another version of the song that was written by Matt Mahaffey from the band Self.
Oh shit! I love Self.
Awesome. Now, the producers and the studio wanted the Matt Mahaffey version, but Alec, Dave, and Jeff wanted the Lustra version because they thought it was a catchier song. I have the Matt Mahaffey version, and I'd like to play that now.
Please do.
I was just a regular man till I hooked up with Scotty's girlfriend. She swears that she doesn't really love him, but don't tell Scotty, no, don't tell Scotty now. I was just a regular guy till I got a slice of this girl's pie. I pulled out my monster and he spat in her eye. But don't tell Scotty, no, don't tell Scotty, 'cause Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. The relationship's over, I'm boning Fiona now. Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. The relationship's over, I'm boning Fiona now.
Had no idea about that one. That's a cool find. I get why they went with the one they went with.
Yeah.
I think it works as a stage song in the movie really well. But damn, I love Self. Gizmodery is like top 10 albums territory for me.
Oh, shit.
Love that artist. That's really cool that you found that.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until yesterday.
That's amazing.
So there is one final crazy story involving Scotty Doesn't Know that I would like to share. It is an interview from Nick Cloutman again, this time with Up Rocks. And he said, I'm just going to read this quote directly here. One of the more memorable stories we're approached with, there was this girl, I want to say in the Midwest or Indiana. It was her friend contacting us. She said her friend was in a car with some other people to get pizza and the car got T-boned. This girl was dragged out of the car by the paramedics and put on a stretcher and ultimately went into a coma. But as she was slipping into a coma, her phone started to ring and she had the Scotty Doesn't Know ringtone. In her dazed state, she started to sing along to it. It was one of those things where you don't consider you're going to be attached to something that has a really positive meaning for people.
Weird.
Pretty wild stuff. So, Dustin, you were hit with a lot of brand new to you material in this mixtape today. Did any of it jump out in the way that you would listen to it if the fictional bands were creating it for you in our reality?
Ooh, yeah. I didn't think about how I was going to answer it this time, and there's a lot. So give me 1 second. I mean, well, first of all, last things first. That Self clip you played, that's so cool. I had no idea that there was an alternate version of this Scotty Doesn't Know song, which again I'm just becoming familiar with. But I mean, it's a cheap shot to say I would listen to more Self because I've made it quite clear that I would.
Totally fair.
I mean, I love the B-52s.
Oh my, it's hard not to love the B-52s. They are one of the most fun bands to exist in music.
Yes. Yeah, fun is their tagline. Let's see, who else?
Steve Martin.
Got some Steve Martin in there. And I mean, I think the song was funny. It worked for its purpose. I think Steve Martin has better music that I have listened to. I mean, he's an accomplished banjo player, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, his song Caroline is awesome.
And he's also been doing parody songs for a while, back to King Tut and stuff like that. Super, super classic. But yeah, always good to hear more from him.
Doof Warrior. You know, I mean,
Doof Warrior. I would love to have more Doof Warrior just scoring to my daily life. I feel like I'd be way more productive if I had like a guitar guy shooting flames riding alongside me.
100% agree with that.
I would love my own personal Doof Warrior.
Well, I mean, you got to have the drums backing him up too. You got to have that drum line.
Yes. Well, yeah, the whole thing, the whole
rig.
The whole rig. Yeah, I need a Doof wagon. Then I can think about getting a Doof Warrior. Yes. And then what else we got? The Revenge of the Nerds. I like the music. I like the non-rap track quite a bit, actually, from the first one.
Yeah,
I think there's some real good music in there, like we talked about. The rap is, it's comedy rap from around that time.
Sure.
A lot of talking just like this and saying the next thing that I'm gonna say.
Well, that was that old school rap style. The second one, more modern, as we pointed out before.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, that's my rundown. Did I hit them all?
Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Shawn?
I have been a fan of Scotty Doesn't Know for a long time. The song is just so fun and filled with energy. The BC-52s I would 1000% listen to because I love the B-52s, and I wish that their version of Bedrock Twist was on streaming services for me to listen to. I don't know why. It's just the theme song that's kind of lame.
Oh, yeah.
Not that the theme song cover is lame. It's just the fact that I can't enjoy both of the songs.
Sure, yeah.
I do listen to Steve Martin's music, but I don't listen to Angel and Flip Flops all that regularly, though it's not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're pretty much in agreement on all fronts here for mixtape 2.
Well, with that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed our second ever mixtape.
Hell yeah. If you did, please rate and review it on whatever platform you're currently listening on.
Yeah, give us all your stars, please. And get in touch with us. We're at fictionradiopod.com and fictionradiopod@gmail.com.
Watching movies, jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.